When I meet people for the first time, they ask me what I do, and I tell them, and among other things, that I teach in seminary, and they say, well, what do you teach? And I answer by saying I teach systematic theology. Now, when somebody says they teach astronomy, everybody knows what they're talking about, or if they're teaching physics, they know what they're talking about. When I tell people I teach systematic theology, I often get blank stares, and inevitably the question is, what's that? Now, they've heard of theology, but the idea of systematic theology is a term that's become something of an anachronism for an arcane science. And what we're going to be doing now as we embark on this whole new series is go over the whole scope of what we call systematic theology. It's going to be an introduction to systematic theology. And what systematic theology is about is a systematic study of the principal doctrines of the Christian faith. And what I want to do today in our first lesson is give a brief introduction to this science of systematic theology and begin with some basic definitions. Let's start with the word theology. We've all heard this word, and we see that it has something in common with a whole lot of disciplines and sciences. It has that common suffix, ology. You hear of biology, physiology, and anthropology, and a host of other sciences that end in that word, ology. And that is because the suffix comes from the Greek word logos, or logos, that we meet in the first chapter of John's Gospel, where we read, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And that word logos is the Greek word that is translated by the English word word. I'm not stuttering. It's the Greek word that is translated by the English word for word. It means word or idea, or as one philosopher even took the risk of translating it as logic, because it is the term from which we get the English word logic. So when we study biology, we're looking at a word or the idea or the concept or the logic of life. If we study zoology, we're looking at a different kind of word or logic of life. Anthropology is the word or logic about humans, anthropos being the Greek word for man.